for inviting me here tonight. It's wonderful to see so many people give up an evening at home to come out and support our community's most valuable resource, that is our kids. I'm Pamela Smeck. I'm one of the candidates from Bethlehem, and after spending 20-some years as a litigation paralegal, I began my second career as an educator almost a decade ago, and I'm currently a learning specialist for the Diocese of Bridgeport Schools. Now, before some of you start throwing apples and chalk erasers at me, I want to quickly add that these are private schools and my district is non-union. I am not a union member. To give you a frame of reference, my district operates 39 schools with one superintendent, 2 deputies, and a couple of highly dedicated, very feisty nuns. 41% of our schools are blue ribbon qualified, so I know what delivering a quality education with a limited budget is all about. Each year, our Region 14 taxpayers dutifully entrust our 8 board members with approximately $30 million to educate our students, and we're doing a pretty good job of it. But I think we have much more work to do. Some folks would claim that the current board delivered the 3 lowest budget increases ever. In fact, an average increase of 0.88% over the last 3 years. And that sounds great. But here is our enrollment over the past 3 years. Not so great. It appears to me that it would stand to reason that this board should be claiming to have delivered the 3 lowest budgets ever. What troubles me is the rate of increases in administrative support staff over this same period. Money that could be used to repair and better maintain our beautiful schools, such as Mitchell, is diverted to school staff whose primary function is to support our central office. One good example of this was the recent creation of a position for a dean of students at the high school to the tune of $110,000 per year plus benefits. With our current economic crisis, in my mind, this is indefensible. Second, our taxpayers deserve representatives that operate with complete transparency and integrity. We can begin by restoring full, unedited broadcasts of all board meetings on Neat TV, or by posting them on the board's website. There is no excuse why this can't happen. It's something any teenager today could easily accomplish. Removal of these broadcasts sends a wrong message to our citizens and communities, and it disenfranchises citizens at all levels, from busy families with small children to our senior citizens who may find it difficult to attend board meetings in person. The citizens we serve are not our adversaries, they're our partners. After all, boards of education represent the juxtaposition of what are arguably the 2 most passionate subjects facing adults, their taxes and their children. Will we as board members always agree with each other? No. But without respectful, reasoned discussions, there can be no reasoned decisions. As members of the Republican Town Committee, you've witnessed many changes in Region 14. Our computer-savvy students of today face influences students of past generations never dreamed of. And they live in a world of disappearing family traditions and weakening personal values. A strong, lean school system is more important than ever to ensure that the same excellent education we enjoy is passed along to our youngest generation of students. I want to thank you again for inviting me here this evening. I hope you'll support me on June 3rd with your vote. Thank you.
For those of you who do not know me, my name is Gary Suslovich. I moved to Woodbury about 15 years ago with my family. I have 2 children in the school system. I have a daughter, Abigail, who's 16, who is a sophomore at Nottawag, and a son who's 13, who is a 7th grader at the middle school. We came to this town for what are good schools, and they continue to be good schools. But they are in need of ongoing improvement, as everything needs to improve. And in order to do that, it is time to improve the listening by the board to the communities. And that is one of the things that we have failed in this town. We have board meetings with one privilege of the floor, where there is a one-way dialogue. Those who make a question or anything to the board hope and pray that they choose to respond, because it's the board's privilege not to respond to your questions. We need to find other forums where there can be true dialogue, because board meetings are not always the appropriate venue for this two-way conversation, whether they are town hall forums. And I know people are going to say you're not going to get people to come. That's a pity if we can't get our citizens to come to provide us with input as to how they want their school system to run. We need to find consensus positions. This is something that I do in my job every day. I work as a Homeland Security consultant. I have spent time in Greece working with the Greek government when they hosted the Olympics and trying to get disparate police, fire, the military to agree on policies, plans, procedures is a very difficult thing because they all want to be in charge. And it takes constructive listening, constructive dialogue to find a consensus position. Is everybody going to walk out of a room happy? No. But everybody's going to walk out of a room feeling that they've been heard and that their opinion has been valued. And we need to bring this to the Board of Education, and that's one of the things that I hope to bring to this board. The other thing that we need to bring to this board is fiscal oversight. The board's done a good job to start bringing the increases under control. However, we do not truly baseline budget. If you take this year's budget, for example, where we're talking about the upcoming fiscal year of seeing a decrease of about $30,000, it really isn't. Because if you look at last year's budget, after we approved the budget as taxpayers, there was a savings from early retirement. So really their base budget was in excess of $300,000 less. So really, if we look at next year's budget, we're looking at a budget growth in excess of $270,000. That lead to a greater buy-in by the community and academic excellence for our precious children. We have failed in those issues. We need to bring Neat TV back so that everybody understands. As I said a moment ago about putting things up on the website, when any citizen goes down to ask for an information request, we're taking the staff away from their regular duties. So if we put it up there once, we allow our staff to be more efficient. And then everybody can find it based on their time availability. Because not all of us have the ability to go down to the regional office between 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. And I think there's a benefit to putting it up there, because an informed public is our best ally as we seek to provide academic excellence. The other thing that we really need to look at is, what is the role of the board? Is the role of a board, whether it's in the private sector or the public sector, to be the rubber stamp of the administration that they oversee? Or is it to ask questions and create dialogue to ensure that all options have been explored and that we understand the ramifications of every decision, using the experts that we have in this region, both as employees and as citizens? There are a lot of very smart people in both of these communities, and we have done a terrible job of using their intelligence to find great solutions to providing academic excellence at a reasonable cost. I'm not as eloquent, unfortunately, as Pam, and I don't write speeches because I never follow. I really hope that everybody will talk to me afterwards. I have lots of ideas on how to improve this region. We are a good region, but we can be a great region. And that's really what's important, is how do we become a great region? I want to thank the Republican Town Committee for the opportunity to be here.